arguably what maybe we were looking forward to the most. AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. This feud obviously has had some legs. We were all hoping it would go a certain way. It obviously did. AJ Styles and Chris Jericho. What did you think? They've been put this their third match in 4 or 5 weeks?
Yeah, I thought the SmackDown match was better. I just thought this wasn't a great match. This was just a match. And
you didn't think it was a great match?
No, I think their SmackDown match was better.
I would say if you go in a singles one-on-one match, we're only obviously 2 months into the year. I think I'm bold enough to say the top 3 best one-on-one matches this year. As much as Kevin Owens has been putting in great matches, the top 3 best one-on-one matches is AJ Styles versus Jericho, 1, 2, and 3. And I'm not going to give it a specific order, but those 3 matches are the best one-on-one matches.
So you think they put on the 3 best singles matches of the year already?
No doubt about it.
Well, I think the SmackDown match was the better one. This was better than the Raw match, in my opinion. The story was told great because since he faced each other 2 times already, Jericho was telegraphing a lot of AJ's offense. AJ went for the springboard forearm. Jericho did his springboard dropkick right when AJ was going for the forearm. Even Jericho kicking out of Styles Clash, and it was a great way to end this match by having Jericho tap out to the calf crusher.
Right.
I mean, at the same time, since I'm a Jericho fan, I just wish he didn't tap. I wish he would. I wish the match was over by a pinfall, but
he kicked out of the Styles Clash. Am I wrong?
He did.
Okay.
Which it makes him look a little stronger. You take the guy's finishing move and you kick out of it. And then you tap to the submission, which I think they're really trying to get that submission over. I feel like they've taken a turn towards submissions being a bigger part of...
And teaming for a while, they didn't. And I was happy, and again, I'm diving into Raw, but I was happy to see Jericho take a win with the Walls of Jericho because his last hiatuses or his last couple runs, his several runs the past couple years, you don't see him win with the Walls of Jericho as much as he should.
Right. Agreed. I do think, though, with whether it's the women, almost every one of the top women they have, their finisher is a submission, even down in NXT. You have, like we said, a submission win in this. Jericho gets a submission win the night after. I do think so. I like that it's their third match. It was a very technical opening to the match. Kind of a slow... feeling each other out. It's like I kind of know what you're going to do. You kind of know what I'm going to do. We're going to try to do something a little different. I feel like they missed a couple spots.
Yeah, they missed a couple spots, but at the same time, remember, Jericho's 45 years old.
Right.
And AJ's, 38? So Jericho still can't do things he could have done 7 years ago.
Right. And
he'll argue that.
This is the best
DDP
he's
yoga.
looked. Yeah, this is the best. This is the best he's looked in a while.
We can't plug that.
I did like Y2J hitting the drop kick counter when AJ did the plunge over the top rope and he hit the drop kick. I liked that Y2J was almost vicious when they were outside the ring. He had the lion tamer on him, threw him up against the wall. I liked him hitting the code breaker when AJ was between the ropes. I don't know if I've ever even seen that spot before. I love that he kicked out of the Styles Clash, as much as I think a lot of the AJ marks will get mad about that.
Because they want to see that move, and it's not seen as much as...
Right, you got to see it, but I liked that because you want Jericho to still... They've been pumping him up as the 6-time world champion, 9-time Intercontinental champion. You have to still make him look like he's a strong opponent. And I felt like they did that. And I liked that they were able to put AJ over without turning Jericho heel.
Yeah.
Everybody thought that was coming. And I think he's a hard guy to make a heel now because he's one of those guys at this point that it's like, we just love you.
We don't want to boo you. As much as he wants to, he wants to play that heel role. And I was happy about that. Going right into the finish of the match, while I was watching the match, I was like, oh man, here's going to come the typical, it's going to be a code breaker, he's going to smack him. Then I was like, he ain't gonna, if he's not going to do the code breaker, he's just going to smack him and walk out of the ring. And they did it, and I was happy about it. Because you don't see that often, and if you do see it, it's usually like the main event.
Yeah. So it was a good match. Like you said, you thought they put on the 3 best singles matches of the year. You thought it fell right in between their other 2 matches, which I think is good enough. If you're right on par with everything else you did in your feud on a pay-per-view, I think you've kind of done your job. You can't always make your matches better every single time, especially when we've seen them that close together.
Yeah.